Hello, it's Paula, and this you are with us here at Whoever Holds the Stone. It's something like that, but I'm really tired, so my memory isn't great. I'm here with Richard and, of course, Tom, my son, on drums, and we're here with Greg. You can see the side of his face, maybe.
Nice profile.
Right, nice profile. So we're here today, and I don't know, I might start hallucinating because I'm so exhausted.
Mm.
Uh, I'm on vacation, but the last 3 nights have been brutal as far as sleeping goes.
Mm.
But I did, because I'm on vacation, I usually don't read fiction, but because I'm on vacation, I grabbed a book my sister sent me. It's by Colson Whitehead, and it's called The Nickel Boys.
Oh, that's a first person narrative, isn't it?
Um, it is. Let's see.
They're in an orphanage, right?
It's not. It's a boys like school. It's a school for wayward boys.
Okay, yeah, that's it. Do you know when
Yeah,
they made the movie, you never get to see the main character? The camera
really.
the camera is the main character.
That's that's crazy. I'd like to see. It's a very it's a very sad book.
Mm.
Anyway, this book it's about I guess in Tallahassee, Florida. There's they're building a building and they're doing excavating, and they knew that this used to be a school, a detention school for boys. There was a cemetery alongside of it for the boys who died while they were in school, but there was another cemetery in the back that was not marked, and the boys were buried in bags and they had been beaten. I mean, it's really horrendous. There were rumors, but nobody was really sure until they found this cemetery that what was going on.
You mean
So
the beatings were so severe that some boys died?
they were beat to death, and they put them in bags and just buried threw their bodies in a grave.
Wow.
So now what's happening is there are some survivors of this who have kept in touch with each other, and so there's one person whose name is Elwood, and he is a survivor of this school. And they're telling his story about when he was a boy and what happened to him and how he ended up at the school, which was, first of all, he ended up hitchhiking to try to get someplace, or to a class actually, because they were put him in a college program his senior year of high school, and he was picked up by a guy who stole a car.
Mm.
And then when the guy got stopped, he got put in this school he didn't deserve it, obviously. But this Larry Elwood is talking about a situation here where he was working in a store that a white man owned. He's black, and the white man used to let the kids steal candy because he says, you know what, I remember stealing candy when I was a kid. It's not a big deal. We're not losing a lot of money. They get a big charge out of it. It's nothing really for me.
Mm.
So Elwood would let them steal it, but the thing was, the boys started thinking that Elwood was letting them steal it because he was not a good employee for the guy he worked for, and that started making him feel embarrassed. So he saw the kid stealing something, and then he told him to put it back, and then they beat him up.
The kids beat him up?
The kid, what? Cause on the way home, when he was on the way home, he was on his new bicycle, and the kids beat him up, and they broke his bicycle.
Wow.
So he is now talking about this kid Larry, who told him that told Elwood that he has no sense and that he should have just kept his mouth shut. He has no sense. So here he is opining after the fact when he's got this black eye and a broken bike. He says Larry had a point, Elwood had to admit. From time to time, it appeared that he had no goddamn sense. He couldn't explain it, even to himself, until at Zion Hill gave him a language. This Elwood also has a record of famous speeches by Martin Luther King and some other black activists. So this at Zion Hill must be a speech that he heard. And this is the quote from it. We must believe in our souls that we are somebody, that we are significant, that we are worthful, and we must walk the streets of life every day with that sense of dignity and the sense of somebodyness. The record went around and around like an argument that always returned to its unassailable premise, and Dr. King's words filled the front room of the Shotgun House. Elwood bent to a code. Dr. King gave that code shape, articulation, and meaning. There are big forces that want to keep the Negro down, like Jim Crow, and there are small forces that want to keep you down, like other people. And in the face of all those things, the big ones and the smaller ones, you have to stand up straight and maintain your sense of who you are. The encyclopedias are empty. He had he had found a set of encyclopedias, but only the first two books had words in them. It was a salesman sample.
Mm.
Okay, the encyclopedias are empty. There are people who trick you and deliver emptiness with a smile, while others rob you of your self-respect. You need to remember who you are.
Mm.
I just thought that was beautifully written,
Mm.
and I'm I'm going to suffer with this book. I'm going to read this book and I'm going to suffer every time I read it because it's so tragic. But it's really written well. It's beautifully written, and it's something we need to know. I mean, we need to know how these things are. I mean, as white people, we we may have had some experiences with being, having prejudice against us for some reason, but we can't truly understand how deep that goes unless we listen to people like this author, this Colson Whitehead, and listen to their story and find out what that's like. And it's so important. And yet in our society now in America, we are taking those things out of the history books and out of the history lessons. And we're making it sound like it never happened or it's still not happening. And I'm sickened by it. It's everyone. I mean, just like when I read the book Caste, I think I think every person should read that book Caste. And just like this one, this Nickel Boy, so you just get a sense, you get a feel for what that experience is like, even though you can't experience it yourself because you can't, So I recommend this book. Now here we are alone. I'm here. I'm in North Carolina. I'm in this bedroom with Greg, and we're right on the ocean. I can hear the waves on the outside.
Is it soothing to hear the waves?
It's very soothing, but we can't keep the door open because the pool and the bar and the grill are right downstairs, and the noise is impossible to sleep through. So we're on the verge. We're making a decision tonight when we go to sleep. If we can sleep through the night, maybe we'll stay. If not, we might have to move on because I need it. I took a vacation to rest. So here we are. I'm usually, isn't it usually James who used to be on location in South Carolina or North Carolina or something?
Yeah.
And here I am. I'm just curious. What have you seen this week that's gotten your attention?
Oh, a lot of things. Like you, I write down things that I find noteworthy and well written. So, for example, I thought of Greg's song, Plastic Showroom.
Yeah.
When I heard this quote, it goes like this. Some people bubble wrap life because they're afraid of change. And in the process, they cut themselves off from actually living.
Yeah.
Does that line up with the plastic showroom theme?
Do you feel that that's similar to the song, Greg?
No, the
And
song is about my parents being fucking assholes.
he said the song's about his parents being fucking assholes. I know people who have covered up their furniture with
Yeah.
plastic, and it's not necessarily because they're afraid of change. They just want it to last forever, and nothing really does it?
Well, that would be changed. That something
Yes,
deteriorates. See?
it's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Greg and I were having a lovely conversation about you and the home of the future this in the last few days while we've been on vacation.
Oh,
And Greg was going to talk about that. Are you ready to talk about that now, or do you want
Yeah, so I'm gonna go on the record.
to? Okay, here I want you
I'm
to.
gonna go on the fucking record and say that I love you, Richard, and you've been a great friend to me. Thank you.
Well,
Good to hear.
there we go. There we go. He's. We were talking about all like. Oh, he told me the whole story about how he met first Ron Emke,
Mhm.
and then you, and then we went through the whole thing,
Mm.
and because we had a lot of time while we were driving, so I did a little mini Greg Sterlace interview,
Oh,
and
wow.
it was fascinating. I wish I would have had a tape recorder with me. We'll have to try to repeat that sometime on record, Greg.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Greg has seen the evolution of the home of the future.
Yeah, he said he told me, I've heard the story before, but he asked you about doing a show, and you said, "Sure, if you help me build a studio."
Yeah. Right.
It was a perfect exchange.
Hmm.
Yeah. So and then now you've got Tom there doing other new things with the studio,
Hmm.
making it different, making it fit your new way of being, right?
Oh, yeah.
Your new-
And it's amazing how the place is evolving. It's just amazing. But now I say the place, but I should say the concept. It's amazing
Yes.
how the concept is evolving. I'll give you an example. So the official policy of the No Exit Show was come one, come all, and state your views.
Mhm.
But that hit a problem.
Mhm.
That problem was when Mr. Paul Dragem decided to state his views. And Vanessa did not like Paul's views.
Yeah, yes.
So we had to have a meeting about what to do about that. And we came to the conclusion that we would have a before the show peace conference. And
and you did that this week.
well, that's what I'm about to tell you.
Oh, okay.
So Vanessa said, "Okay, that's a good idea. So what's this peace conference going to be about?" And I said, "Well, you tell Paul what your demands are. He tells you what his demands are, and you come up with a compromise." And Vanessa said, "Well, what if we can't?" I said, "Well, then he can't be on the show because he's not willing to compromise to be on the show. He just wants it his way or nothing." And
Right.
so I ran that past Paul, and Paul said, "That's fine with me. I'll sit down. We'll hammer out a compromise." Well, that was on a Sunday that we had that meeting. I mean, it wasn't a meeting; it was a pre-meeting.
Oh, right. Deciding to have a meeting.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
so the next question was, when would the actual meeting take place? We said before the show on Friday. So Wednesday comes along, and Vanessa has one of her classic panic attacks of everybody is out to get me.
Yeah.
And she throws everything away and says, "I don't want the meeting. I just want Paul banned from the show without him saying anything." And so Jason had to get involved, and I got involved, and finally Vanessa said, "Okay, we'll have the meeting." So it was back on again.
Okay.
Well, guess what? Friday comes and Vanessa doesn't even show up. Somebody offered to give her a ride. She says, no, I'm going to go out with my friends.
Well, that's kind of defeats the purpose, doesn't it? If it's so important,
Yes.
if it's so important, shouldn't that take precedence?
Yes.
I guess maybe she was nervous about it. Maybe she.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. I can't second guess. I don't know what's all I know is that they're that. All right, when you're a kid and there's a bully,
Yeah.
and that bully says something and you get upset.
Yeah.
Ooh, that feels good to the bully.
Uh-huh.
So the bully will say it again.
Okay.
Hey, look, you got fat calves or whatever they'll say.
Yeah.
And you'll get upset and you'll cry and you'll run home and you'll tell your mother that this boy picked on you.
Yeah.
But the reason they keep saying it is because you're getting upset.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, if you say, yeah, I like them,
Right.
then there's no reason for that person to say those things because it's not, they're not getting the effect. Do you think Paul Dragem is a bully?
I think Paul Dragem likes to push people's buttons.
Well, that's a bully.
In other words, so he was on the show last Friday, not Vanessa.
Right.
And Jason and the Prez and myself got to know him during and after the show. In fact, everybody stuck around for at least an hour after the show ended and shared their personal life experiences.
Okay.
And I thought it was a beautiful thing. Like, for example, Jason talked about his divorce. Paul talked about his divorce, things like that.
Jason's getting a divorce?
Well, it's a slow divorce.
It's a molasses divorce.
I mean, you could, for me, from my perspective, the divorce started when Jason's last birthday happened. And he said to his wife, well, we haven't had sex in like 4 years, and it's my birthday today. Do you think as a birthday present you could have sex with me? And his wife laughed and said, ha, no way. To me, that was the beginning of the divorce.
Yeah, well, to me, that's, first of all, you shouldn't have to have a special occasion to be intimate with your spouse. It shouldn't be like it's Valentine's Day or it's my birthday. That seems rather artificial or something.
So anyway, we all got to see behind the other's facade, and it was very, very nice. And I thought, wow, this is exactly a good thing that's happening here.
So is the show happening now on Fridays or is it still on Saturdays?
Oh, I'm sorry. It's Saturday at 5:00. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. You're doing it earlier. That's right. I forgot. That's a big innovation for the Home of the Future. Usually it's always 7.
Actually, all the people who wanted it moved to 5, I don't think it matters to them anymore. So who knows? We might go back to 7.
Yeah. Yeah. So I guess it helps. It helps with planning things, if you've got things to do on Saturday.
Sure.
But so Paul, but that doesn't really solve the problem, that long conversation and getting to know each other, which is really nice. It's a nice touch. It's good to find that commonality.
Right.
But the fact that Paul continued to dead name Nessa, that's I mean, I'm not so woke that I believe that every little thing has to be adhered to, but that's a pretty nasty thing to do, is calling somebody by a name that they no longer adhere to. I don't know. I think it was you're right. He was pushing buttons, and she was upset about it, and she doesn't. I don't know. I like both of them, and I wish they would try to see each other's point of view. Although I think in this case, I think Nessa's was had a better point. Although she should have attended the meeting.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
Yeah. So,
I thought the whole subject of people wanting to ban others from the home of the future
uh-huh.
got its first real test with this experience. Like that has never really come up before. Usually, everybody is embraced and then they come and
or at least tolerated.
Sure.
Yeah.
And then people get used to it.
Right.
Think about when Greg was doing his show. It would be unthinkable that Greg would say to somebody, "No, you're too controversial."
Would you ever say that, Greg?
No.
No, more controversial the better, right?
Right.
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
So I think it might have something to do with the time we're living in. The cancel culture.
Yeah. Right. It's two opposites, nothing in between.
Yeah.
I do too.
It's like Don hated Jimmy Kimmel for what he was saying about him, so he got him temporarily suspended.
Yeah.
And Nessa doesn't like what Paul's saying, so she wants to cancel him.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, and
that's really against the whole freedom of speech, and it's also against the whole the future vibe.
oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Yep.
And if you want to be accepted for exactly who you are, you really have to learn how to accept other people exactly the way they are.
Right, because Paul is exactly the way how he is.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And
His personality is just as valid as Nessa's personality.
Mm.
right.
Well said.
Although the fact that Paul was doing it just to get under
Doesn't matter. That's part of Paul's personality.
Yeah,
It's
he's
true.
a provocateur.
He's a provocateur. He pushes
like
buttons.
Greg Sterlace, for instance.
Exactly. Right.
Pushing buttons.
Yeah, that's
There's another person who's pushed a lot of buttons over the years.
Yeah.
Her name is Nessa.
True.
Thanks for that. But turnabout, it's not fair play, obviously.
well. I guess people feel vulnerable sometimes. You
No, what I'm
can't be.
saying is Trump says all this horrible stuff, including Jimmy Kimmel's untalented loser who has bad ratings. But Jimmy Kimmel shouldn't say anything bad about him. Let's take him off the air, or try to take him off the air. And Nessa often, including Paul, she's saying Paul's bad, get him off the air. But Paul's, he just got his life is just as valid as anybody else's.
Thank you.
Yeah,
So I heard something interesting from history. You can study
Okay.
history and you can learn about the present.
yes.
What?
So in Nazi Germany, comedians during the rise of Nazism, and then eventually when Hitler became chancellor and then dictator, comedians would still tell jokes in the cabarets. So a comedian got up in, I think it was like 1939 or 1940, and told this joke in a cabaret. She said, Hitler and Goering were at the top of a very high tower during one of the rallies, and all these people were cheering, and Hitler looked over at Goering and he said, "Wow, it's amazing the spirit that Germany has right now. Do you think you could suggest something I could do that would totally make all the people of Germany happy? And Goering said, yeah, you could jump. She got arrested and executed for telling that joke.
Ooh.
So it just goes to show that there's a thing about dictators and comedians where dictators fear comedians.
But in in old times, the jester was the only one that was allowed to speak truth to the king,
Yes.
and that was the jester's job,
Yes.
was to tell the truth, and the king was generally tolerant.
Mhm.
Yeah, and when Woody Allen did his skit on that,
Mhm.
and everything you always want to know about sex, I'm afraid to ask, he still couldn't do whatever he wanted, the jester, because he was a jester. He had the court jester outfit on,
Mhm.
and at the end, the king cut his head off
Mm.
because he didn't like the way he was acting.
Mm.
Well, that was, I'm sure, Woody Allen's way of talking about what's correct in comedy and what's incorrect in comedy.
Right.
I mean, we're really in a bad place right now. And did you watch Bill Maher
Yes.
this week?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, and he did that thing. His rules, some
Get rid of
new rules.
Yeah.
Yeah. What did you think of that?
I think he's very insightful on a lot of things. You know what I mean?
Yes, he is. He's sometimes he's off, but the
Usually,
just the whole idea that trying to get along, trying to make that peace.
Usually Paula yells at the TV and says, "Bill, you're full of shit."
I do yell at the TV sometimes.
So you thought that Bill Maher's new rules was too conservative?
I don't know.
Kind of wimpy.
It was he makes some I don't know. I think some of the things that he says these days strike me as being too far to the right.
Right.
Not that I believe he should. I think a lot of this stuff where you can't even say anything, you can't make a joke. Those things shouldn't exist. On the right or the left,
Mhm.
and they exist both places now on the far end of each.
Mhm.
So I think there has to be a compromise. I think that but like, I guess my biggest problem with him is the idea that he always overemphasizes the idea of trans women in sports, and for the most part, he acts like all trans women in sports are as capable as men,
Mhm.
and should be therefore treated as such. And I don't believe that.
Mhm. And I
mean-
also find his views on the Palestinians
Oh, yeah, that
reprehensible.
too. Yeah, that too. He has no consideration or heart, and I can understand from a Jewish perspective some things, but not everything that's going on there. It's ridiculous.
Mhm.
I mean, there's even Jews in Jerusalem that don't agree with what's going on.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, there's a worldwide organization which includes Israel called Jewish Voice for Peace, and they are doing their best to try to get him out of office.
yeah, and all these wars that Trump says he's ending. What a ridiculous man.
Oh, he lives in a fantasy world. You want to hear something I thought was very revealing?
Sure.
On the PBS NewsHour, they had farmers in the Midwest who were complaining because they were told grow soybeans because there's a huge market for soybeans.
Right.
Okay, so Argentina had a financial crisis this week, and Trump gave them $10 billion to see their way through it. So what did the Argentinian government do? It gave a portion of that money to all the soybean farmers in Argentina.
Mm-hmm.
The soybean farmers in Argentina then contacted the people in China, and they said, we know you buy a lot of soybeans, and we'll sell you ours at a huge discount, because they had been subsidized from that $10
Yeah.
billion. So China didn't buy a single thing from the U.S. soybean farmers this year. So now the U.S. soybean farmers have nowhere to sell their products.
Well, since when is he so generous giving money to foreign is it because they have oil or something?
I would like to know, what was his motivation for doing that? Yes, I would like to know. See, the soybean farmers that were being interviewed, they were just pissed off. Like, we voted for
Yeah.
this guy and he's stabbing us in the back like this. But your question is a good question. Like, what was his motivation to do that?
Yeah, what do they have that he wants?
Exactly. Exactly. Do you
That
think
he
they
threw
bought
the
some of his?
soybean-
You think they bought some of his crypto stock?
Maybe, but he just threw all the farmers under the bus.
He did. Yes. Yes.
Doesn't care about people.
No, he doesn't care. It seems crazy that people can't figure that out. That
Yeah.
he only cares about himself, and that's oh well, I don't know. I can't figure out why people are so enamored with him, but so have you any other items on your list this week that we can talk about? Because I just started reading this book, so I don't have that many quotes.
I've been reading about the painting Las Meninas.
I don't think a painting called Las Meninas.
Yeah, it was painted in 1650.
Uh-huh.
And in the 20th century, there was this original thinker called Michel Foucault.
Yeah, I know Foucault.
And Foucault has a brilliant mind. Well, he's dead now, but
Yeah,
I
he had
mean,
one.
I mean, his critique of this painting is just stunning. So I've been sending it to people I know who are interested in paintings.
Uh-huh.
If you'd like, I'll tell you.
Well, yeah, I'd like to see it.
Okay, Tom,
And-
can you put up Vin 9 on the computer for me? Okay, good. Okay, I can look it up now. All right, so I will make it full screen. Let's see here. I put it in the form of an email so that I could show you things,
Mhm.
or I could show anybody things. So let's see, that would be in drafts. And there it is. Ah, perfect. Okay. Now, I don't know, can you see? Wait, I think Tom is centering it.
Here, me. Oh yeah, I know this painting.
Okay, so that's the whole painting.
Yeah.
Now, what Foucault said is that in the beginning of the 1900s, Albert Einstein realized that if you're in a train station and the train pulls in, from your perspective, you're standing still and the train is moving.
Right.
But for somebody on the train, they're looking out the window and the world is moving and they're standing still. Did you know?
Okay.
Yeah, so that makes sense. So, in other words, what Albert Einstein said is perspective matters. Like who is the observer? That matters in
Right.
in understanding reality. And then with the birth of quantum physics, somebody came up with an experiment where if you observe the experiment, it comes out one way. right? And if you
Mm-hmm.
observe it from another point of view, it comes out a different way.
Mm.
So if a mathematician looks at the experiment, one conclusion is drawn. And if somebody who studies physics looks at it, then a different conclusion is reached. And
Okay.
so same thing. Your point of view determines a lot about reality. So
Mm-hmm.
now we go back to the year 1650 when this painting is painted.
Mm-hmm.
And it's astonishing for the following reasons. Who is the subject of the painting? Okay? And if you
Mm-hmm.
look at the back wall, you see where the pointer is here?
Yes, I do.
There's a mirror on the back wall, and in the mirror is the King and Queen of Spain, meaning you could say they walked in the room and now everybody's looking at them.
Ah,
But we don't see them in the painting.
right. They're at the painter's perspective.
Correct.
Yeah.
Or Foucault said, maybe the painter is looking at the viewer in the art gallery, not the king and queen. Because if you look at the painter's easel in the painting,
Uh-huh.
can you bring it up, Tom? We can't see what the painter is painting. That's an unknown to us. In fact, Foucault said the painter might be painting the very painting we're looking at. How's that for a Twilight Zone thing?
That's that's pretty wild.
So what Foucault is saying here is that all these people in the painting are the, shall we say, observers of different things. So the young princess, she's looking either at us or the king and queen.
Uh-huh.
One of her attendants is looking at the princess. She's doting on her. And the
Mm-hmm.
other attendant is looking at either us or the king and queen. Then this guy walks into the room. Okay? Show the guy, Tom.
Ah,
Is the guy walking into the room or is the guy leaving the room? And what's the guy looking at? Is the guy looking to make sure everything is going according to plan? But there's another observer going on here. So essentially what's happening is you have all these different observers affecting the reality of the painting.
wow.
250 years before the whole Einstein thing.
Well, somebody had that idea, obviously, and yeah, the painter. I think that guy was leaving the room, and I also think that door looks like a waffle.
Yes. so, so anyway, I thought it was just amazing that a painter could have that much foresight. So,
Yeah,
so,
and there,
so Sanford's a big fan of Don Quixote, but
yeah,
so much about Don Quixote applies to today, right?
mhm,
You have an
yeah,
imaginary world, and you see the real world through the eyes of what you have learned, namely
right.
this thing about knights and dragons and etc., giants. So so often art is ahead of the curve.
Well, see, that's the thing. You can have an idea as a painter that you might not be able to
Articulate.
articulate with words,
Yeah.
but you can paint it. And the same thing with music. You might have an idea, when you listen to a symphony, and you can get the idea that the person, the composer, was thinking about a horse running through the meadow,
Right.
and you can feel that, and you can actually see it through the music. So we're so stuck on words and communication language as the ultimate in communication. But you get a painting like this that's showing a very complicated idea that came around hundreds of years later, in the way that he understood it and he could show it.
Hmm. Yeah, an example is you're familiar, of course, with the Godfather movie.
Yeah.
Came out in the 70s.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that movie parallels what was going on in the society because the family was still strong. And in that movie, they're constantly saying, never turn against the family, always take care of your family. You may recall that.
Yeah.
Okay, now in I think it was 1999, a new gangster movie came out called Heat with Al Pacino and Robert De Niro. Robert De Niro
Okay.
was the thief, and Al Pacino was the cop who was trying to catch him. And the thing about Robert De Niro's thief character is he has this crew that has never been caught, but he has rules that the crew must follow. One of the rules is if you ever get married or have a family, you're out of the crew because you've got to be loyal to the crew, not the family.
Mm-hmm.
Just the opposite of what it was in the.
Well, yeah, because it was, because he didn't want divided loyalties, you know.
Well, he
and-
didn't want
and-
anybody worrying about getting caught or
Right.
something like that, you know.
Yeah. I guess that is true, but I mean, people have divided loyalties all the time, you know. Their loyalties to work and then to their family. You know, work a lot of time wins and the family suffers or vice versa.
Uh-huh.
So, you know, people do have divided ideas about that. Oh, my brain is so like foggy from no sleep. I'm having a hard time manipulating words. Maybe I should do a painting.
Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, we've spent a lot of time on this trip listening to music, and then, like I said, I interviewed Greg, which was a lot of fun,
Uh-huh.
and just getting it. It's an artificial time period vacation.
Yeah.
You know, it's outside of reality, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you don't have those responsibilities like unloading the dishwasher and taking care of business and making sure you're there for people.
Well-
It's like a time and space that are different from the rest of your life.
Oh, I like the way I like these things you're coming up with.
Yeah, and I think though that
You're thinking like Velasquez.
I think it's valuable to it's like a reset. You know, you can let go of all of that so that you can do a reset and come back and handle it
Only you get some sleep.
more effectively. Yeah, exactly. As Greg said, if we could only get some sleep,
Yeah.
that would really be helpful. But
So let's give a shout out to Mick who's watching us. He's
Mick.
commenting. He's saying my point of view is that's an old painting.
I love you, Mick. He comes. He does this. There's no pretense there.
So for the last No Exit show, Tom was at a wedding, and so Mick volunteered to engineer the show,
Oh wow!
and he
How did that go?
very good, very good. I was surprised, and I said, you know, Mick, I'm going to put you on the list in case something pops up again.
Yeah.
You're who I'm going to call.
Yeah, well, that's good. That was a nice addition to that group because, you know, you've got quite a diverse group for
Yeah.
sure.
And Mick is always dropping these memento moris on me. You know, memento mori meaning remember that you don't have as much time left as you think you do. So
Yes.
he's always saying things like, he was always telling me this, you got to show me how to engineer because when you're gone, I got to be able to learn how to do that.
Wow. Thanks, Mick. Yeah, I know. I think that Greg and I are talking about. Okay, this is what we figured out.
Yeah.
We figured out that when we met, our combined age was 70.
Mm.
Now it's 130.
Ooh, that's an interesting
So-
way of looking at it.
Yeah. So, and it's right. So, like, how much more time is there for us to be vital and to do things?
Not much.
Yeah, not much, says Greg.
Mine is 0% certain.
He's running on zero, he said. But
So Greg agrees with the statement. You don't have as much time left as you think you do.
we don't think we have that much time left. So I hope it's not less than that.
Uh-huh.
But your priorities change too as you get older.
Yes.
Your priority. You don't have to have. I think that's where a lot of people make the mistake. As they're getting older, they think, well, why don't I want to go out and party anymore? I must be getting old, instead of saying, why don't I want to go out and party anymore? I must be getting wise.
Fascinating, Paula. Fascinating.
Yeah.
So,
A lot of people get really screwed up about these things. Like, all these young people are out there having fun, but is that fun anymore? It's not.
uh-huh.
So,
Well, a lot of that has to do with you're more energetic when you're younger, so that's why you want to go out and party.
yeah, your energy level's different when you're younger.
My energy level is at 0 now.
Well, right now, both of us, we're very close to zero at this point. Very close.
You gotta go to sleep soon.
There's got to be right. We're
After
gonna
the show's over, we gotta go to sleep.
we're gonna spend. Yeah, it's like 8. It's 8:14, and we're already thinking about sleep.
Mm.
You gotta get to bed.
Yeah, because it's just been crazy. If we can get,
We have
It seems
12
pretty-
minutes left in the show.
yeah, it seems pretty quiet outside right
It doesn't
now.
matter. Only
I'm
matters what happens
hoping-
between
yeah.
now and 12:30. We
I'm-
got 4-hour window at least.
I'm hoping that everybody tired themselves out with activities today,
Hmm.
Hope so, God willing.
because we're pretty shot.
I mean, I don't think they're gonna go. They're gonna all be on the third floor watching TV till 11.
Well, we can't. The television thing isn't
No, I'm
bad.
saying they talk while they watch TV.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. Greg is very, very. I don't think he thinks there's a chance in hell that we're going to get a good night's sleep.
There's no chance.
And I really don't want to be driving, like, if I'm starting to hallucinate because I'm sleep deprived.
That's
I mean,
understandable, yeah.
so it's kind of a catch-22. But it is kind of between getting bitten in the ass by the dog
Oh God.
and not sleeping. And then the 6 people coming into our room in the middle of the night because they thought it was their room.
Mm.
I mean, this wasn't 6 all at once. It was 6 one at a time, like over a period of a couple hours.
Mm.
4 between 12 and 12.
Yeah, 4 between 12 and 12:30. 4 people. And so finally, I took the suitcase and the handle, those extendable.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like they do in movies, and I took it like a chair, like they put the chair underneath the doorknob.
Right.
That's what I did with the suitcase,
And
and then
that-
I put the other suitcase in front of it so they couldn't get in here. So
Nice.
Double suitcase.
there was one person who tried it, but failed because I had gotten up and done that.
Hmm.
It's a
yeah.
nightmare.
Yeah, it was pretty horrid.
I'm totally shocked.
Yeah, I know. I can't even believe. I can't
What is
believe
that?
that I'm still speaking.
Mm.
Well, no, you've always liked to get a lot of sleep. You were never good on short sleep.
No, I know. But I mean, I'm wearing down rapidly.
Yeah,
Mm.
he's ready. He's ready for the bed. But this so anyway, we're talking just because I'm kind of out of my mind.
Mm.
It's interesting.
I'm totally out of my mind.
So what is what else is happening at the Home of the Future that's interesting?
Uh, I thought this was an insightful thing that somebody said. Uh, we've gotten used to the statement coming up on TV shows where you are instructed to ask your doctor for pills that you cannot pronounce the name of for diseases that you didn't even know existed.
Yeah,
Isn't that
that's true.
interesting?
Yeah, I don't think it's a good. I think it's a horrible idea that we're allowed to advertise medications like that on television.
Hmm.
I think it gives people a sense that they need because that's what advertising's about. It makes you feel a need that you don't actually have,
Good point.
you know. And how many people are asking about these medications?
Hmm.
And wouldn't their doctors prescribe them if they were going to be worthwhile to them?
Hmm. You would think. You would think.
Yeah.
I
So
mean, if you insist that your doctor prescribes something for you because you looked up the disease and you said, I have that disease, I have that disease.
yeah. But what do you think about lawyers advertising on TV?
uh, what I like about that is the first consultation is free. I like that a lot.
Is that what they always say?
Oh, yes. Oh,
Okay.
yes. So you can go in for your first consultation and you can lay it all on the line. And then they will say, this is what it's going to cost you, and this is what I think we can do for you.
Yeah, I guess that's good. I just find that people sue people over anything now,
Mm-hmm.
and I find that really kind of like I remember when I fell at my daughter's house, my grandchildren asked me if I was going to sue them,
Mm.
and I thought, no,
Mm-hmm.
you know, why would I do? I mean, I guess maybe if I didn't have health insurance and all those things I had to have done cost me so much money, but but I just don't like the idea that everybody's suing everybody all the time for
Mm-hmm.
just about anything that happens.
Mm.
I mean,
So,
I guess that's work for you though.
oh, definitely. Definitely. So, for example, a law firm called me today and they said, our client was in a car accident and the person who hit them said, here's my insurance. So he told them the insurance company, and every time the lawyer calls, the insurance company says, we don't have anybody insured by that name. So I said, who's the insurance company? And they said, Intigon. And I said, well, this would be the second time now people are calling me over a case that Intigon is insuring. And I'm getting the impression that their standard line is, oh, yeah, you think we insured that person? Prove it. That's
Wow.
pretty evil, wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
So I'm going to be dealing with that later when I write up the report. Then I got a second request. Our client was hit by a car that had a government license plate.
Mm. Wow.
Who do we sue? So I'm going to have a lot to say about that in my report to them. For example, if you are driving a car and you're a soldier on, let's say, Fort Bragg.
Uh-huh.
Fort Bragg has its own set of lawyers. But if you're
Really?
if you're at a different base, that base has its own lawyers.
Wow.
And if you're a member of the Justice Department, that they have their own lawyers. So I'm going to tell them how to approach this now.
Oh man, that sounds complicated.
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh, usually you and Greg go to movies. Do you have any on your list that you want to see?
We want to see that the what was the thick
What was it?
the roses.
You want to see The Roses?
Yeah, that's the one we wanted to see. We like a lot of those actors that are in that. I know it's a remake of War of the Roses,
Right.
kind of,
Right.
same premise,
Mm-hmm.
but I like a lot of the people in there, and I think it would be a good one
If we're still alive.
if we're still alive.
Wow, that's a nice caveat.
Oh, we're running out of time. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm close to death. I mean, who's kidding?
Oh, you're not close to death.
Oh, like I said to you before, Paula,
Mm.
I'm either going to die very extremely soon, very soon, or somewhat soon. But it's soon.
Well, what's soon? Define soon.
I mean, I can't imagine a few years at this point.
Oh, stop it. I think we're both.
Until the spring.
I think we're both exhausted, so we're kind of morbid today.
No, I'm totally shot.
Yeah, well, we're totally shot because we haven't slept in 3 nights. So
Not that.
it's an interesting vacation so far. That's what we were calling it. It's the perfect learning experience vacation.
Nice. Nice.
I think I say that at the beginning. Oh my God, I'm so tired. I'm repeating myself.
Mm.
I do that all the time. Well,
Well, you're repeating yourself, though. I didn't realize I was repeating myself. There's a difference. So I'm glad that we got a chance to do this because I know I didn't do it last week and I missed it.
Oh, I didn't tell you the story of the drunk person, did I?
No. Oh yes, you did, and you sent me the letter.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm waiting to see how that's going to play out.
It hasn't though yet. You haven't gotten a response.
I did. You want me to send you the response? It was
Oh,
it was kind of mocking the response.
Oh,
What he did is he dropped off a letter that he hand wrote, and what he did is he copied my letter, word for word. But when I said, I don't want you coming over drunk, he said, I don't want you coming over to my house with a camera.
Oh. So then he doesn't want you coming over to his house, period.
Yeah, you could draw that conclusion that that was his way of saving face. See, I won't come to your house, and then you don't come to my house. So we'll see.
Wow. Yeah, he's obviously he doesn't realize he has a problem.
Yeah.
I guess it's apropos that I'm yawning.
Sure.
Since I'm just a mess. So hopefully I'll sleep for the next few nights. I'll be able to sleep well. So when I come back, I'll be refreshed and ready to start my life again. Because that's what a vacation's supposed to do. Greg is saying it sucks, but this was not what I predicted. It was not.
No, I never thought it'd be like this.
We did not predict that we would be in this situation because it's a vacation is supposed to be nice and quiet and restful. Instead, it's raucous and crazy and disturbing and tiring.
Hmm.
No, I wanted to rest. I should have gone to the convent. Well, I go to the convent sometimes.
Next time I'll say go to the convent.
Yeah. Next time I suggest a vacation, Gregor told me to get thee to the nunnery.
Can men go to the convent or just women?
I don't know if they allow men there. I only go there when I'm going alone. I always find out. I make sure that there's not a retreat going on, and I go by myself. So
No man.
there's no men ever there, but there's a monastery, and they take women. So I don't know. Maybe the convent does take men.
No, they don't.
I don't know, but the monastery takes women. The place up in Rochester where they make the monk's bread, they have a retreat. and they don't make you do anything religious. That you just can go there and contemplate your navel if necessary.
Well, you have 20 seconds to say goodbye to the viewers and drift
Goodbye,
off.
viewers. Thank you for joining me. I'm sorry if I made you tired by yawning. And thank you, Tom, for being there and taking care of this. You're my favorite son. Okay. All right, Richard.
Okay.
I will talk to you again. Thank